A very good morning to one and all. First of all, I would really like to thank you all for your presence here today. It really means a lot to me. Secondly, your presence here shows that you are all ready to take this journey and are ready to rise, to fly. This is all about finding your own way. So what I want you all to do first is to give a big round of applause for yourselves. Thank you so much. My dear friends, this round of applause is not only for yourself, but thoda sa main selfish ho rahi hu. You know, my topic is something which will talk about positivity. And we all know that clapping your hands creates the energy and a positive aura. And you know, I don't mind a little bit of appreciation and encouragement here and there. So you are free to clap whenever you feel like. I'll begin with a Greek mythology. I take this liberty to share with you this Greek mythology which I believe almost all of you have heard at least once in your lifetime. In Greek, they believe there is this huge, magical, gigantic bird with a big, enormous wing of fierce red and bright orange color. You know, many people believed and compared it to the aura of sun. Magical, I say, because the tears of this bird had the power to heal any wound. If there is any Harry Potter fan like me, we all have seen the power of this magical bird in one of the Harry Potter series titled by its name. My dear friend, the lifespan of this bird is supposed to be 500 to 1000 years. But this bird has one more power. It can envision the change. It knows when its end is coming closer. And before the life decides to end, it changes its own fate. It creates a nest of twigs, sets itself in it, and sets the entire nest on fire. Now, my dear friends, burning is definitely not a pleasant, feeling. We all know how much it hurts even if we burn a little finger of ours. But then this bird decides to burn itself completely. The huge, enormous size of this bird gets burned, and what remains is just the ashes. Like I said, that's when the real magic happens. The birth, or rather, say, rebirth of this bird, phoenix. We all can understand from this that change is inevitable, but growth is optional. This bird chooses to burn itself only so that it can take a rebirth. Had it left itself on its destiny to allow the natural death to come, it can never rise again. So my dear friends, after this 35 minutes or so, I would really want you to take away with you the 4 key points to unleash your wings. Unleash your wings of positivity. Unleash the wings to rise and to fly high. Are you ready for this journey? Yes. Thank you. I would again here share one story with you. It's a real life story, not mine, but a very close friend of mine. I'll just show you one pic and I want you to guess. Can you guess this girl's achievement or can you imagine her struggle? Anybody? The first picture, you will be seeing that she's a 21 years old at this point of time. She's enjoying the riverside. This is when she's talking about in a news channel about the black money surgical strike that we are all aware about. And this is a big fight live she has participated in wearing this India's sports uniform. So anybody, just take a guess. What is she? Who is she?
Is she paraplegic?
Sorry?
Is she paraplegic?
Yes, and? She definitely has won the medal, and that's why she's... No. I'll tell you, young girl. At the age of 21 years, after completing the BSc, we have a lot of dreams and aspirations in our life. We all wanted to do something, and that is the age when we actually are working towards achieving the goal. बचपन से सपने बहुत देखते हैं, but सपनों को हकीकत बनाने का टाइम 21 साल के उधर उसी दौरान आता है. This girl was enjoying a party at her home in the terrace, and then something happened which changed the life, or rather you can say it stopped her life. She fell from the terrace of her own building, and once she regained the consciousness, doctors told her, or rather I would like to say everybody around her told her, you can never walk again. Her entire body, from down here, her spinal cord, broken down, completely devastated. One leg fracture and we know the pain we go through. The entire body got crippled. We cannot even imagine what she had. been through. In the year 2006, this accident happened. The next 2 years were very, very terrible for her. Wherever she went, to the hospitals for the treatment, to Babas, to Vaidyas, to you name it. घर में पूजा करवाई गई, हकीमों से मिले गए. Whatever they could, they did it. And everybody, they had only one response. You can never get well again. Even to drink a glass of water, she needed to call somebody and help her to drink that glass of water. Even to move in her bed, she needed at least 3 people's support who can lift her and shift her. And what happens when you are unable to move? You gain a lot of weight. At the age of 23, you can imagine what this mind would have been going through. It is not easy, my dear friends. It is not at all easy. And especially, one incident she tells me that when she was in hospital, one of the next bed patient patient came to was telling, मेरा बेटा दिन भर चीखता चिल्लाता रहता है इस दर्द के कारण, मैं परेशान हो चुकी हूँ, मुझे समझ नहीं आता मैं क्या करूँ, मन करता है छोड़ के चली जाऊँ. Imagine when you are suffering and somebody is telling you this. You know, it's similar to what we face every time. We have our own challenges, but then people are coming and telling you, ये तो और मुश्किल है, तुम तो गए. You will find such things. She found it too. But she decided and she determined, she will not let herself die. People were telling that patients like this will not live more than 3 to 4 years because of the bed sores and the complete immobility. But she decided and she was determined she will not let herself die. She will not get the efforts of her family just go in the vain. That was the first step she took. But with patience, she wanted to pursue MSc. She wanted to join army. She was getting ready for that. But not to even go to a college. She could not even go to the college, obviously not in such conditions. She started analyzing what are the options with her. She was not let down. She took help from her support from the friends, and she realized she can give certain competitive exams. She started appearing, she started practicing with the help of a friend, and she took action. She gave exams in the year 2009 end and 2010 beginning. And fortunately for me, she decided in the year 2010, November 8th, to join State Bank of Bikaner and Jaipur as a probationary officer. I say fortunately for me because had she not taken that decision, I would not have met this wonderful soul personally. But do you think the journey of such a strong-headed girl could end here? She had much more to do. She was not there just to get into a banking job and be settled. No, she is not us, We have the hands, we have the legs. She had no power in her body, but she chose to go ahead. Soon after 1 year, she lost her dad also. It was a very tough moment for her. But again, like I said, she is a strong-hearted girl. Somebody introduced sports in her life. And this person who introduced sports in her life, my friend was ready to respond, ready to react. She took this opportunity and she said, why not? Let me try. At least my hands are free. I have the strength in my hand. Let me use it. And there, she went ahead and practiced sports. Last 1.5 years, it's just been last 1.5 years that sports had been introduced in her life. And my dear friends, meet the warrior. She had won 2 international medals, 4 national medals, 3 state level medals. She had world level championship. And I'm very happy to say, like as I say here today, speak here today, just this week when I was preparing for this presentation, she got qualified for the Asian Games Paralympic Championship. She fell, she crashed, she broke, she cried, she crawled, she hurt, she surrendered, and then she rose again. For me, my dear friends, Shatabdi Avasthi, a girl from Savai Madhopur, is the real life phoenix. I hope this story will bring something in you. I have my hands, I have my legs, but then yet I fail to exercise each day. Why? Because I think, kal karti hu, kal kabhi nahi aata. What is it that takes to unleash your wing? I'll just tell you what we learned from this story. This, my dear friend, are the 4 points which you need to always remember whenever you want to unleash that wings to fly. D. D comes from determination and decision. Many people, they say, सोचते तो हम बहुत हैं, मैं पिछले 2 साल से सोच रही हूँ कि मुझे मेरे को हेल्थ इंप्रूव करना है. I have taken a decision, but it's not a decision until and unless I act upon it, right? You have to be determined, no doubt. Determination and decision. Like she took decision that she will not let herself die. That was the kind of determination and the decision that was there. The next step is analysis and action. She analyzed the options she had. She could not pursue what she wanted to. But then life does not end here. You can analyze, you have the mind there with you, right? All of us have this mind. Analyze and take action. Until and unless you start to work out, and if you just keep thinking positive things, remember your body is not going to respond. Maybe you will feel good about it, but trust me guys, it is not definitely going to help you lose the weight. I've been trying it, since last 2 years. The next one is ready to respond and repeat. No matter what happens, no matter what destiny throws at you, be ready to respond. Don't take it कि चलता है अभी मेरे को यही मिला है. Respond. You have the opportunities knocking on your door. Understand them and respond to them. And don't be afraid to repeat. You may fail a lot of times. You may fail 10 times, but try that 11th time. You will definitely succeed. And last but not the least, in her throughout this journey was the energy and the enthusiasm. Now this energy was coming negative from outside, but she channelized to convert this energy into positive. आपने मुझे कहा है कि मैं जिंदा नहीं रहूंगी, मैं जिंदा रह के दिखाऊंगी. आपने मुझे कहा है मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकती, मैंने खुद के दम पे नौकरी ली. आपने मुझे कहा है ये लड़की क्या कर सकती है, इंडिया को मेडल मैंने दिलाया है, आपने नहीं. This is the kind of energy and enthusiasm we all need to have in our life. My dear friends, can we take this ahead? Are you all ready to fly? Now is the time for a small activity where I want you to first believe in your thoughts and think before you try. There are certain boxes kept in front of your tables like this. See, there is P and N written. I want you to first choose the one which is N, with N written on it, okay? And there are certain chits there. You have to, as a group, discuss the scenario. These may be some of the challenging scenarios, negative scenarios, not good, maybe very difficult, maybe very easy, but definitely not favorable. What I want you to do is, as a team, think about how this situation can be changed into something. I'll give you a small example before you begin. I was having a lot of difficulty in my job. I left my job, as most of you are aware. It is definitely not a good thing to leave your job after working for continuous 10 years. I had been independent since last around 15 years. After that, leaving your job and sitting at home is definitely not one of the positive things. But when I took the decision that the job has to be left, I also knew that this will not give me a good feeling. What I did was, I chose to pursue my passion. This was this time where I could use this opportunity to pursue my long hidden passion of teaching, of training. I enrolled myself into this course so that after a certain time, I know what my losing my job, even at home without getting that monthly salary which I am being used to since last 10 years, I am not getting demotivated because I am very clear in my mind that there are certain things because of my job I was not able to pursue or follow. Now this is my time to do that and to bring change, whatever change I want to see. On the similar grounds, I request now for next 8 in a group discuss this, and at the end I would like one of you to come here and to share from groups what was the situation that you chose and what are the things that you could do. Now one more thing, if at all you get stuck, which I am sure none of you would, I have kept a P box there which has the alternative solutions or alternative outlooks to that. But I am very sure that that will remain untouched. Okay, so your time begins now. For your group, you have not been given any box. This is having some blank paper. What I want you to do is discuss in group maybe some real life situation where you have failed, where you could not take it in a positive way, you could not act positively. Rather than taking positively, you could not act positively. So What could be the alternative actions? Had you been taking that time, the results would have been different. Okay? So are we clear? Begin. Guys, I guess everybody is at least done with one or two situations. That's all. A bunch of highly positive sitting out here, all really high, right? I guess many of you are already high. Great. So this is, my time. I want to learn from you guys. I just shared one story with you, and I these 4 points. I feel is very essential to unleash that wing. I going through the group discussion. I believe each one of now I want you. I'll just call up some people voluntarily. You may come. First, I would like to call from their team because they were already very excited. And I want you to come up and share what was the incident you took, how you can convert situation, whatever has been given, how you convert it into positive, and we will try to find like what are the positive traits that we can involve, inculcate in ourselves in actual practical life. Fine? Perfect? Who will be coming from that group? Come.
More than positive thinking, it's a bit of humor that I've added, like our entire team has added. So if you missed your train, bus, cab late, okay, if you missed it. So as Amir Khan rightly says in the movie Ishq, ladki bus or train, ek ke baad dusri aati rehti hai, and Mumbai mein to 4 minute ke baad aati hai, right? People pulling us down. If people try to pull you down, you just ignore them. I mean, don't talk to them. Dosti tod do, simple as that. If you have a bad marriage or you've been through divorce, never fall again. I mean, don't get married again simply because you have been through shit. You have been through shit, so don't fall into that pit again, right? Baba ban jao. If you have a tiff with a friend, I mean, if you have a bad fight with your friend, simple talk it out because that is the most important thing that you can do. If you're feeling sick, suffering from illness, then take medication first of all because positive thinking alone won't get you this thing. And take medicines also is an important fact. So, and our friends are suggesting that Dr. Brandy with a little peg, I mean with hot water can work magically. Watching a comedy movie, this was put unknowingly by Ritvika, but yes, we have got a solution for that as well. If it's a Sajid Khan movie, then you can definitely, 3 hours of peaceful sleep in an air-conditioned room.
Great. Give a loud round of applause for David here, please, friends. Now see, some of it were like very common, normal problems, which we can always, have an alternate solution. So the first which we learned is you can definitely add humor into everything. This is definitely going to make your work a lot easier. Now this is not something that I have come up with, this is something what you people are telling me, right? Communicate, again, a very essential part of thing, life, because many a times it happens, most of the problems we have in our life is only because we fail to communicate. Once you do that, you will realize everything sounds simple, you can do it, you can just move ahead. Ignore. Not always ignorance would help, I might add here, but then definitely yes. If once you realize that this is not the wings you want to have, this is a kind of a chain that is being put, ignore it, avoid it. So definitely thank you, David. Now I'd like one from this team because they were having a different task altogether. Next we will give you a call. My dear friends, like I said, a little bit of appreciation, can never hurt.
Thank you, thank you. My name is Vidhu. I'm actually from the evening batch. We were not given any scenarios, and we were told to think about some negative situation or a situation where we reacted negatively, and like retrospectively how you could have like changed it to in a more positive manner. So recently I went with my family for a group tour. We went to Europe, and generally we are not very group tour people. You know how to say it. I'm very self-disciplined. My family is like that. And sometimes in group tours, what happens, you know, people come from various forms of lives, and some of them don't actually stick to timelines and discipline. So it really, sometimes it irritates. So in any case, we went for this group tour, and it was generally going very happy. And we were supposed to be traveling in a bus, and the tour manager was generally conducting it very well, and he'd actually allotted seats to people, will be rotated so that everybody is happy, and you know, there's no confusion, people reach on time. So once, I have two small children, so there were supposed to be 4 seats for us next to each other because the children are small. So once I boarded the bus, so the seat next to my children was taken up by some other family. So I requested politely that, you know, I'm supposed to be sitting here, so if you could please find where you are supposed to be sitting. They said, yeah, why not? But they kept sitting and they didn't move. And I kept requesting. This went on for 10 minutes. After that, I lost my temper. And I said, please, you have to get up from this place. Very rudely, I told them, which now retrospectively, I think I should have been quiet, and I would have gone down to the tour manager and told him, can you please make some arrangements? I think that was the one thing. So keeping patience, this is what we all came up with, that keeping patience, and instead of losing temper, thinking over the situation and responding instead of reacting. This is what we thought.
My dear friends, like I said, you know, it is very easy to react, but you have to react with proper thinking. You can just not respond to the situation the way you want to. What she said was like, if she could have just thought a little bit more about it and acted patiently, it would definitely have helped, which is again one of the key points which we can take away with us. Always remember, whatever action you are taking, just think a little bit. Think and then react. Definitely it would get a bit easier. Now just one last theme, if I can, like you people wanted to come. If you'll see, we'll just have time, we will get one more.
So our situation was undesirable work pressure. So all of them have their unique style to come out of the work pressure, but I have my own style. When I was working for Times of India, there was tremendous pressure, tremendous pressure. I used to go by 9 to 10, and I used to come by 2 o'clock in the morning. So it was so much pressure there. So day by day, it was getting worse. और मुझे पता नहीं चल रहा था मैं क्या करूं, अब इस प्रेशर से बाहर कैसे निकलूं, बिकॉज मैं हैंडल नहीं कर पा रहा था इस प्रेशर को. एट दैट टाइम आई यूज्ड टू वर्क आउट. अब मैंने क्या किया कि जितना भी प्रेशर था, जितना भी स्ट्रेस था, मैं नेक्स्ट डे जाता था जिम में, पूरी तरीके से उतार देता था पूरे लिफ्ट्स वेट्स पे. तो एज टू टेक प्रेशर एंड रिमूव इट ऑन द वेट्स, आई यूज्ड टू लिफ्ट मोर वेट. और जैसे जैसे मेरे वेट लिफ्टिंग कैपेसिटी बढ़ी, वैसे वैसे मेरा स्ट्रेस और प्रेशर कम होते गया. आई यूज्ड टू मैनेज प्रेशर, आई यूज्ड टू टैकल द प्रेशर. तो जो भी दिन भर में प्रेशर रहता था ना, मुझे लगता नहीं था प्रेशर, बिकॉज वो सारा प्रेशर मैं नेक्स्ट डे जिम में जाता था, उसे निकाल देता था. एंड दैट्स हाउ दैट नेगेटिविटी आई क्रिएटेड थ्रू पॉजिटिवली, और मैं पॉजिटिवली आई हैव चेंज्ड माय बॉडी कंपोजिशन बिकॉज ऑफ दैट वर्क प्रेशर, आई कैन से.
Excellent thing, my dear friends. This is again, I believe, one of the important things that we can keep in mind. Always channelize your energy. You know, even the negative energy like stress can be channelized to get something positive in your life. We all agree to that? It's just coming from you. So it definitely needs to get worked upon, right? Can we just have one more from this team?
Yeah, the situations which were given to us by Ritvika, first one was fight with somebody. Yeah, so they said, we said move away, cool down yourself and resolve the problem. We just have one word. A hospital visit, when you go to visit somebody in the hospital, be cheerful yourself, have empathy and compassion. When you see other people progress and that makes you feel jealous, we said instead get inspired by that and try and make those changes in your own life. The fourth situation, when somebody takes you for granted, what do? You express and assert that you're not willing to be taken for granted. When somebody breaks your respect and trust, we decided that don't get emotional about the situation Accept people and situations for what they are and move on. And the last thing is when you lose your wallet or your credit cards and your passports, and this is a negative situation, how you turn it into positive, first and foremost, take charge. Do not panic. Take the necessary actions, and maybe you should need to have a backup.
Very practical things, very practical situations. Now this is something, don't get emotional. This one thing that I would like to say, this has happened with me in my own life. Earlier there was one phase of my life where I was kind of depressed. I even took the professional help from people. I even took the professional help from the people to overcome that depression state. At that point of time, me know that I was under this kind of influence was, I used to get emotional. Whatever decisions I used to take, even in if somebody could have done this, I know this is not right and they're doing it, I would, my tears. And I don't know why. So then I analyzed the situation and I realized that this is a problem with I am not keeping, need to take some action doing that. That is what Nivedita told, like you have to take ownership, take action. You have to understand yourself. So before you can open the wings, you need to know if your wings are ready to be opened up and you are ready to take that flight. Imagine what would have happened if उसमें इंजन में कुछ है ही नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं, वो स्टार्ट करके ऊपर लेके जा रहे हैं. मे बी थोड़ा बहुत कुछ ऑयल बचा होगा, थोड़ा सा ऊपर अब चले जाओगे, बट take ownership, analyze the situation and get inspired. That is very, then the motivation is there and there is inspiration sitting here in this room. I can tell you at least there will be people who can come and write the stories which would leave us inspired completely. Open up your mind and open up your heart to accept those things. More team wanted to come, yeah.
We selected the topic of being wrongly directed. This is the live story, this is the live experience of all of us. When we decided to join ITDA, somebody told me, why are you joining a 4-month course? If you can complete it in 5 days, then start your training program within 5 days and start earning. So that direction, that wrongly directed thing, allow us to think positively on the decision making. We compare what was the advantage of 5 days course and what is the advantage of 4-month course. So it gave us the direction to think positively and in both the direction, positive as well as the negative.
Excellent. A very good example actually. I shared the Shatabdi story. There were a lot of people who were trying to pull her down. I don't know why people do this. Go up together, right? It is not necessary that you have to push somebody and then go. We can all join our hands and perhaps the journey would become easier and faster. But unfortunately, in our life, we come across lots of try to pull us down. Now, how excellently he has put that, and he got the perspective to think, okay, 5 days course, bol raha hai. What is the advantage or what are the benefits? What can I think about? And then he saw that positive thing in this. कि ये 4 months का course ऐसे ही नहीं बना है. Again, a very good example. Last team, you can just quickly come. If we can applaud, I don't know why you are all so conjuice in giving appreciation to the people.
We chose the topic of unexpected bills. It's an incident which I shared. It happened to me last November. I got a unexpected bills. I got a little fever coming and I went to the doctor, took the normal antibiotics, but then I didn't have big impressions about this doctor, so I thought क्या होएगा, थोड़ा fever है, नहीं लेगा तो 2-3 दिन में चला जाएगा. But it did not go, went into more days. I went to another doctor who gave me the medicines, but he didn't diagnose me properly. It was 5 days when my fever reached great heights. I was with my parents' house where I have to take care of them, they can't take care of me. It was around 3 a.m. in the morning one night when I was really feverish, really bad, full body shaking and feeling vomity, and I couldn't do anything. I called a bajuwala and told them to take me to the hospital. I went to Bhatia hospital where I was, they told me the fever has reached your head, you are having very high fever and we can't take a risk, we need to admit you. And I said, okay to the bajuwala, मेरे को admit कर दे. वो पहला बोला वो 20,000 रुपया मांग रहा है. Okay, now where do I'm already having a problem. बट एंड आई सेड मैं तेरे को देगा 20,000 रुपया, कैसा भी कुछ भी करके मेरे को अभी एडमिट करा दे. तो आई वॉज एडमिटेड, दे स्टार्टेड द एंटीबायोटिक्स, दिस दैट. द फर्स्ट डे in the evening they give you the bill, another 15,000 for the antibiotics, for the doctor charge, came to 35,000. But still the doctor couldn't diagnose me because dengue came as negative. He said, but your platelet level is falling down, we don't know your case. So I told the doctor, kuch bhi kar, mere ko ghar pe jaane de, I cannot afford such a treatment. Then somehow or the other, it was around 4 or 5 days when I got a bill of 50,000 and I had to pay that money in order to get discharged from the hospital. Now I tried to look as to how I can make this incident into something positive. But there are many people who go through this. There was a dengue patient next to me whose bill was 2.5 lakh from a village. So he was trying to look for some charity people to help him and all that. I said, okay, at least my situation is not that bad. I went and got my sources, got my money. I stood up my courage. I tried to think, okay, kaam karega, kamayega, because this can happen to anybody. I have to stand up to this occasion, and that is the positive thought which I got from this.
Thank you, Thomas. I believe this is a very good example where you can actually realize that you are fortunate, right? There are so many people who are less fortunate than us in this world. We are fortunate enough to afford the studies we did. We are fortunate enough that we can take care of ourselves, our medications. It is in our hand. But out there, when you go out, there are so many people who cannot even, they're not even having 2 times food to eat. So realizing your fortune, though he had unexpected bills, but then I believe once he had realized his fortune, he knows he can work to pay that bill, to fulfill that gap which he has created. And perhaps this will bring more opportunities to you. My dear friends, what I would like to tell you all is, always remember this one thing. There is no law created without its key. If God has given you the problem, there are definitely the solutions for that too. And many of us, we feel, why me? Whenever you have this feeling, why me? Always remember just this one thing. Perhaps because God felt you are more strong, you are stronger than your neighbor. He could not tolerate that problem, you could. And he knew, once you come out of it, you would be better, bigger, richer, just like the phoenix of our life. So, at the end, I just want to leave you with this thought. Come what may, whatever is your blood group, always be positive. Thank you, my dear friends.